Leinster scraped by Scarlets to march on to the semi-finals of the URC for 2025, but will need to be 10 times better than this game if they're wanting to make the finals this year. Welcome back everyone to Kick On Rugby channel. I'm your host Dane Sherratt. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this game. Who played well, who didn't. The polished performance from Leinster that we expected. Were Scarlets just a lot better than expected? Do Leinster need to be a lot better to march on next week? They play Glasgow next week. What do they need to be better at? What selections need to change for that to happen? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So we'll stay on Leinster first, home team first. Like I said, they will need to be a hell of a lot better next week to beat Glasgow to go into the finals. Not their most polished performance. This was a lot of forced errors, a lot of unforced errors, handling errors, passes not going to hand, very unlike Leinster. And what I'm starting to notice, not necessarily the whole problem, but part of an issue, is this kind of shows how much Leinster miss Caelan Doris. I think so. Just around the calmness, the leader he is, the guidance he brings on the field, just that calm voice. Obviously, there's a lot of guys within that squad that have got the experience, that have been there and done that, all of those things. But I just think in games like this where things are getting a bit error-ridden or error-stricken or error-whatever, Caelan Doris just brings that calm notion or takes that big carry or makes that big turnover play or big tackle to change the momentum, to calm everyone down and to show everyone, to realize, hey, we're in the driver's seat here. Let's just bring it back to basics, relax, and play how we want to play. I think his calming effect on the team is massively missed. I don't know. Leinster fans, what do you guys think? Yeah, and this is not taking anything away from Jack Conan. We know what he does off the back of a scrum and carrying the ball and in the lineouts and defensively. I just think when it comes to that calming voice that has been in and around Leinster for that long, I think Caelan Doris is massively missed, especially in games like this where everything is not going, things aren't always going your way. They come out firing. I will say that. They come out absolutely firing. Patient build-up, lovely options, option taking. The ruck speed, forwards that clear the blasting out of those rucks, and then Gibson Park is right there. His option taking behind the ruck is always elite, and they go over a couple of phases, and James Lowe scores in the corner. For Gibson Park's try down the middle, lovely. The little plays they have, or phase play, when these things are happening and when they're on song and when the balls are going to hand, the players are running from depth, their timing, everything is good. It is beautiful to watch. Lovely to watch. They do a little play off their phase play through the middle. James Lowe comes in off his wing, holds that ball up nicely. Conan busts through, and on the inside, as always, Gibson Park is there and goes over untouched. Beautiful little play that. And then I thought defensively it was, again, like the last time Leinster played versus Scarlets, or like when Leinster played versus Northampton. It's really hard to nail your rush defense if the attack have got a lot of options. They've got players from depth. They're showing you a broad picture of, holy, the ball carrier's got 3, 4, 5 options here. Who do I rush onto? And I think Scarlets in a lot of plays or a lot of their phases on attack were showing lots of ball carriers, lots of guys running from depth. And like I said, you're pushing up hard, but then it's who you take because there's 3 or 4 options in front of you. So that's something that I think their defense needs to work on, that you can't rush every single phase. They were getting caught out a few times out wide. And then I thought in attack, just needed to be a little bit more deeper in attack, guys running from depth more. Scarlet's rush defense was causing Leinster to knock the ball on, or to throw a quick pass that wasn't on, or throw an average pass down to the knees or down to the ankles, and there's a few knock balls or balls not going to hand, and kind of rushed decision making at the line, and that was credit to Scarlets' defense, and they did really well there. So I thought Leinster needed to hang back a little bit more. The other way to beat a rush defense is the little chips in over the top, and coming out in the second half, they combated that nicely. I think it was Sam Prendergast who put in the little kick over the top. Jamie Osborne runs through to score. And what I loved about this, and what just a little intricacy about it, and Ian Madigan, I think it was, the commentator said it, noticed that he picked it up. It was off the back of that scrum. So it was a scrum, a right-hand scrum. Gibson Park first looked to go blind. What that does is holds the blind winger on defense, holds him that side, brings it this way, the chip kick goes over. So it was obviously pre-planned. So that blind winger there has had to check Jamison Gibson Park, and then he can only start to move over as the cross defense. That just hesitates him there a little bit, gives Prendergast and Osborne a lot more space to work with and a lot more time to get the kick in and then receive it and go and score. Lovely little thing that he picked up there. And whether that was pre-planned or not, but it worked out to be like that, and it worked out well as Osborne went over to score. Like I said, not the most polished performance. A ton of missed opportunities, like handling errors, poor passes. And I do think it was off the back of Scarlet's rush defense being real strong. And then I did like the Sheehan charge down that then after that, so that's a turnover ball, shift the point of contact. I always say it. You turn over a ball on one side of the field, let's get it to the other side of the field because that's where the space will be. Shift that point of contact. Geordie Barrett rides the tackle and Keenan off his hip. Hugo Keenan goes over to score. Lovely, lovely try there. And then a couple penalties from Prendergast to get them to their 33 points. Like I said, not polished, not their best performance, but hopefully that's their ugly performance out of the way during the knockoffs, the knockout playoffs. Need to be better next week, Leinster do, for sure. Going over to Scarlets, unlucky, man. There was a ton of instances where they were really good with a ball in hand, finding a lot of space out wide. Yes, Leinster have got that rush defense, but they were just throwing lots of options at them, players running from depth and short balls, not necessarily always throwing the longer ball out. Those balls take time. Defenses can then adjust and shift out, showing the little short balls and finding space like that out wide. I thought there was a lovely setup for Tom Rogers' try. Good front foot ball off the first phase, off second phase, getting over that advantage line. And then they play a nice little block shape out the back, creating that overlap, having the blind or having a winger come off his wing and creating that extra man, getting the overlap there. And then Tom Rogers goes over. Front foot ball, defense is in status. You don't know what's happening. And then execute a good block play where a player is running short here. This defender bites in on him. The ball goes out the back. The blind wingers come off his wing to create the overlap and they go over to score. Lovely, lovely stuff. I thought the defense was really good in patches. Yes, they obviously still leaked 33 points, but still their line speed was really good. Put Leinster under a ton of pressure. Knock balls, balls not going to hand. Poor passes, and that was credit to Scarlet's defense. I do just think they didn't have enough ball on attack for them to go and score. What about that point just before halftime? So, firstly, Scarlets were attacking Leinster's line. Then Leinster get the turnover, march down to the other end of the field. It's like Leinster are going to score right before halftime here. That rush defense from Scarlets put Leinster under a ton of pressure. Prendergast fumbles the ball. They kick the ball through. Blair Murray grubbers it the whole way, length of the field, and goes to score. Fantastic. And this is the halftime. It's 15-14. And you're like, it's a game. Yeah, the game is on here. But Leinster come out in that second half and just, even though it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't their most polished performance, they still get the job done. But also, when Scarlets have the ball in hand and they're playing good rugby, they're getting through their phases, it's lovely. Their support play, their offloads, there's always an option for the ball runner. They keep the ball alive. And that was for Johnny Williams' try. He goes over untouched, just offloads, options, short, wide. There's players everywhere, and it's beautiful to watch. 2 yellow cards to Scarlets during the game did not help their case at all. Makes it so hard to defend, to attack. It's like poor discipline does not help a team at all. It makes it really, really hard, and especially against a team like Leinster. They don't need much to score tries or score points. And that's it. Leinster march on. Is this performance good enough to win in the semi-finals? I definitely don't think so. They'll have to up it 2, 3, 4 gears to beat Glasgow. They're lucky they're playing at home still. Whew, man, it's getting exciting. It's getting exciting. The other semi-final is an all South African one, Bulls versus Sharks. So could we see a Bulls-Leinster final, or will it be Glasgow again? Who knows? Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this game. Who's going to be who's the favourites to win it? I think it's even. I think it's even. Everyone is even. This is exciting. It's getting exciting. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.